We normally have like a bunch of gibberish that just naturally happens before that I edit in, and then we do our intro. So trying to manufacture that has been really
You want
hard
to make up
lately.
some shit?
Yeah, you guys want to dance together or something?
Not a very good dancer.
Okay. All right, let's do it. Hi, I'm Sean Collins.
I'm Stephen Barry.
This is We Feed Them, a podcast about the people and the stories that shape the food industry. And today we have somebody who's become a really close friend of mine. We actually run burger restaurants in sort of a competing market, and it's been fun. It's never felt like a competition, even though sometimes we get put up against a competition, like in a competition. Yeah. And so I feel like that's kind of where we met and bonded. Like somebody introduced us as Burger Bros, sort of.
Yeah.
And it just sort of like kept going. But so we're really happy to have him. This is Jason Kuspa.
Hi.
And Jason has a smash burger place called Smashed South Bend inside of Dainty Maid, downtown South Bend, Indiana. And yeah, so could you just tell us, I don't know, just tell me like the vision of Smashed South Bend, and I'm curious about how operations are at Dainty Maid because it's kind of a unique situation there.
Yeah, it's a really cool setup, especially for someone like me who basically started in my garage, cooking for friends, and it was an opportunity that presented itself at the Dainty Maid Food Hall. There was like a transition of ownership, and the new ownership consisted of some of my friends. And they approached me and talked about a possible opportunity for me to do something there with my burgers, and I took it. So it's kind of nice for, you know, having a dream and a vision, and they offer a real safe space to pursue that without making a bunch of investment or things that could be risky that you don't want to take, you know. So it's like minimal risk.
Yeah, what do you call that? So, well, it's a food hall.
It's like an incubator.
Have you been there?
I've been to Dainty Maid. I've not tried Smashed yet, but yeah, I'm actually familiar a little bit with the owners, and seem to be really good people.
Yeah, they're super cool, and plus there's a wealth of knowledge. So like me being behind the ears with pursuing anything like that, it was just nice to have all that knowledge in your back pocket in case you had any questions or anything.
Yeah, there's a lot of experience under that roof.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Dude, just as a customer, I've gone in there and felt like I left with just some knowledge, just kind of talking to the people where they're running it, you know, or at least feeling inspired, because there's some things that Dainty Maid does that, well, openly, like, you know, I've talked to the team and go, man, I like that you do this thing where you can sit down and just scan a QR code and place your order through your phone, and there's multiple concepts open at once, so you can place an order at Smashed, and then somebody else can, or you, even if it's just you can get an appetizer from Jason, or you can get, and then also an entree from, I don't know, one of the other
Fatbird?
Yeah, well, no, Fatbird's another restaurant, but they have Pinata, which is like kind of like a burrito sort of place. They have the Breakfast Club.
Oh, okay.
Then there's also Revenant, which is a coffee.
Oh yeah, yeah,
place.
I've heard
and
of
then
that.
Bakesy, like their bakery, and they have Hall Pass, which is their bar.
So you just go through, like on your phone, it goes, yeah, if you're looking at Smashed, here's Jason's menu, and you can swipe over and go, yeah, here's Revenant's coffee options, and then you place the order, send it, and it goes wherever it needs to go, and then it all kind of comes to you. And I think there's probably some challenges with that.
Yeah, there kind of is. I mean, I think a lot of it just gets lost in translation with what the table expects to like how it really works, because sometimes, depending on, since there are separate vendors, you know, if their ticket times are going a little bit longer than other places, food will come out in different timing.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's been some kind of, I've seen some things where people are like, oh, that came out way too fast. But I mean, just because of the dynamic of it being different spots, you know,
Right.
it kind of just come out when it's ready. But I mean, after that learning curve, I feel like people start to get it and understand how it works.
Well, the concept isn't, I think it's probably the first time for our area. And so I guess for me as a customer, I always think, okay, we are part of the experiment as a customer. So I can understand why this burger might come out and, you know, my fiance's breakfast dish hasn't come out yet or whatever it might be. And we're totally understanding of it just while those kinks get worked out. But I'm not even trying to say that, I don't even think that's not common anymore. The last few times I went there, everything came out at once. So I feel like it's really been ironed out.
Sure. Yeah.
So I don't mean to make it sound like that's a big issue. I just
it's not something that comes up. I just see that being like like people not understanding how it works, like that being kind of like a hang up.
Is this if you order through like DoorDash or Yelp, or is there like a certain?
No, you order on your phone. You sit down and a server greets you, and they still give you full service. But if it's your first time, well, they'll ask you, "Is this your first time?" and they'll explain how it goes down. Do you know what they recite? Like, could you explain the Tavern side?
I mean, I really don't know like that end, but
They're
I mean,
good though. Like you could tell they've been rehearsing.
yeah, it's all set up with like a QR. So every table is like its own zone. It has a QR code with like a table number. So like when they do order from that, it comes up where the food gets delivered. But I mean, I think they kind of just go over like that part of it to log into the Wi-Fi because it is an older building, so you need to be logged in the Wi-Fi for I think it to work properly. But other than that, I like it myself just because it's easy. I mean, you can order whenever you want. You don't have to wait for someone.
Just
Especially,
pictures.
yeah, it's just it's pretty self-explanatory.
That's
So he's
super
got
unique.
his line, like, Smashed has, what do you have, a flat top and 2 fryers?
A flat top, just one fryer, and then I have like my cold table.
With your own printer.
I just use a screen right now. I don't have a printer.
So somebody orders and it spits over to him and he's just worried. It's almost like stations, except every station has different concepts also.
Yeah.
Do you run it just yourself, or do you have employees that work with you?
I do have one employee right now, but mostly for the longest time it was just me. I had my sister help out. I mean, there's been kind of like a progression of how many hours I've been how long I've been. Let me back that up a little bit. Like how often I work through the week used to be just weekends, then expanded through lunches through the week, and then. But to where I'm at now, yes, I do have another employee.
I think it's a good and a bad thing to bring somebody else in, because Sean tells me that you're incredibly passionate about what you do. And, if you're the only one who's doing it, then obviously you can have more control over it. To bring somebody else in, it's got to be somebody that you really trust. Like you said, your sister is probably somebody that would be good at that, but
She was an ace. Like she was, if I could clone someone to do the things I want to be done, she was it, It's really hard to find someone that cares about what you do as much as you do.
Oh man.
We've had conversations. I guess this is where I started to see that the way you and I see food is a little differently, and I can't quite put my finger on it, but can you tell Steve like what you feel about how you need to toast your buns? That was the first time for me. He was at my restaurant. We were talking, and we were kind of just talking about scaling up and some of the restrictions that you felt, and one of them was toasting the buns, right?
Yeah, I just like to have a deep toast on my buns, and it takes some time.
I love that expression.
Yeah, I just so I don't like a fast.
It's really like our shirts that say that, dude.
I like a
Deep toasted buns, yeah.
Deep toast that shit. Yeah, so it's basically like I butter them up, and I have them on one side of my flat top, which is designated just for buns. But I bring up the temperature. I mean, it's hot, but it's slow. I don't. I like a deep crunch. It supports
You want to
sauces.
create
It
almost like
doesn't.
a crostini on your bun.
Yeah.
But it was interesting to me because if I can recall the conversation, it was about scaling up and maybe taking on DoorDash orders or larger parties or
it
something.
was like.
And for me, well, for sure, and I think basically from some of our conversations now, but for me, my mind works for the restaurant, my mind works in systems. How can we create systems to scale up and like create that space for higher volume?
Right.
And even if the higher volume doesn't come, I don't know, I just want to be able to do it. But it comes with some sacrifices. And so to me, I want the bun toasted, but I don't ever think about how much time needs to be dedicated to it. I'll go, if we get busier, turn the grill up, let's toast them and let's roll. And but you don't feel that way at all. You're like, no, we can't turn up the grill. We have to toast it.
I mean, there's some. I mean, there is some give and take. Like now, I think since that conversation we've had, there's some. I turned it up a little bit, and
like, let's see what happens.
I mean, yeah, I mean, there had to be some concessions, but not much. I mean, there's a couple elements on my burger I find really important. For one, the meat and how it's seared and smashed, and two, like being how the bun's toasted.
Yeah.
So like. I don't know. I feel like those make a lot of difference.
I mean, it's there.
So.
I mean, when I eat it, I guess when I eat, I don't go, man, he killed the deep slope.
Right. Man, this is
But there's a
deep
reason
toasted
that
buns.
I love it so much. Like I always say, what is it, the BLT burger?
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I went there, I was like, I'll just get the BLT burger. You can guess what's on the BLT burger.
Yeah.
And I get it comes with cheese, but I am lactose intolerant, so I do no cheese. And it's just fucking really good. It goes, hey, how was everything? And I was trying to be careful to not sound disrespectful because I was like, well, it's a fucking BLT burger, bro. Like it's bacon, lettuce, tomato, beef. What do you think it tastes like? but it actually tasted, I don't know, it just like really, it was almost like the first time I had a BLT and I went, oh wow, I didn't realize this could be a thing, like this is so simple. But I don't know, there's something that you're doing that's totally right.
Yeah, it's like there's a little garlic aioli on that too instead of just like
Yeah.
regular mayo. So there's like a little.
It's not just that though. It's all those little things. I think it's all
Yeah.
those tiny little.
They add up to
details
something,
that
I
it
feel.
does.
If you have the love and the passion, it really comes through, you know, and I think that it makes a difference, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
But it glues you to it. You almost can't let go. You can't, you know, when you go to hire somebody, then. I mean, I don't know your staff there, so I'm not
Yeah.
trying to dog anybody.
No,
but just-
no.
You almost
but it
got
becomes
to
this deep concern of like, are they gonna really look at it like I do? Are they gonna do this?
you got to helicopter parent them for a little bit and like make sure that, hey, those buns need to be toasted a little bit deeper over there.
Yeah. Like I did like prior to the person I have working now, there was this where I did hire someone else, and it was a big learning curve. It was like the first time I hired someone, and at that time it was just my sister and I. And I'm looking to get outside of, because we were only doing weekends. And that's just because of our schedules. Like my sister has a full-time job. I have another business. I have a custom picture framing shop. So I do that through the week. So the only time we could do this was on the weekend. And so I had to hire someone else to extend the hours. We hired a guy, like all the boxes, checked all the boxes, seemed passionate, had like tons of experience. Said all the right things in the interview. Like, man, this guy's great. Even like me and my sister were talking about it, you know, and started off, worked great and good. And then it seemed like, you know, as soon as I kind of took my hand off the reins and started focusing more on my other business, he just like did a 180 on the attention to detail he paid to making the burgers. I was getting messages like, oh, this isn't the same, and like other things. So it was really a kick in the gut, you know.
That shit drives you crazy when that happens.
And,
because I've
yeah.
experienced it.
As an aside, yeah, I mean, I personally, I feel like when you're in the interview process, the hiring process, and everything seems too perfect, sometimes that is a red flag in and of itself, you know, because
Sure.
you're like you're kind of waiting for the other shoe to drop. You're like it's like when they say if something seems too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
You know something that I've done, and I don't know if this is great hiring practice, but I feel like I've weeded some people out through this. But if it's a really critical role, I will waste a lot of their time in the interview.
Yeah.
If I think that they're a serious contender for the job, then I will. I mean, I might tell them, "Hey, it's gonna be a long interview," but I will really kind of let conversation drag out. I'll do a tour of the restaurant. We'll sit down. We'll talk concepts, and I'll sort of try to figure out if I can get them to the point where they get uncomfortable and they start to lose their patience and see how they act. You know what I mean? Are they going to start to be disrespectful or squirmy? And I don't really know what it is other than just, I don't know. I want to strip away. You prepared
Right.
for a 30-minute interview. Let's get past that and figure out who you are.
Yeah.
And so there was one time I remember we going, it was like 45 minutes in, and I asked the guy, no, it's just the more you talk, the more you start to unfold. And he said something about, he like had lost his temper with servers a lot. in the past. And I was like, oh, tell me more about that.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
Sort of, he was like,
Caught you.
well, you know, I've worked on it. And I go, okay, you know, it didn't seem like he had solved it.
Yeah.
It's funny. My current job, the interview process was, they wanted me. I feel like I've told you this before, but they wanted me to meet at a hotel like down the road or whatever.
Oh, yeah. I remember
Yeah.
this.
So I pull up, and
It was like an affair.
yeah, it was weird. Yeah, it was very weird. And I go to this hotel and I'm dressed, you know, to the nines, got the tie and everything. I really want this job. And I walk in and they told me, who are you here for? What are you here for? They were like, asking me all these questions like I'm doing something shady, you know? And I look like a businessman, you know, like not as I do currently. And I was like,
Sure you do.
I was like, I'm meeting somebody here for an interview. And I mentioned like, you know, where I work. And they turned me away, and I had to call him, and I was like, hey man, this happened. And he goes, all right, well, I guess we'll meet at Panera. And I go to Panera, and this is already 20 minutes after this interview's scheduled. I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for another 20 something minutes. The punctuality was really, really strange. And I meet the guy, and I love my boss. I think very highly of him. I respect him a lot. But it was the weirdest interview I ever had because we sat there and talked for like an hour and a half maybe, and most of the interview he was just kind of like talking about himself and his life and like his experience. And I never, most interviews you sit down and they ask you about you, but he was talking about himself, and I just remember getting in the car driving home and just feeling like, well, that was strange.
Did he interview me?
Yeah. But it intrigued me, it made me want to follow through. And then I had a follow-up interview with his boss, who I think is amazing. And that really sold me on the job. But he's a great guy, man. He's just it's a little strange, a little different, not what you're used to.
You know what? This is kind of silly. We didn't even mention where we are. And so if you're a fan of We Feed Them, you might have noticed this is not where we typically record. So I don't even think we've mentioned this either. Part of our concept is that we will move our sets around, and we want to go, especially when we have guests, we want to go someplace that, if we're welcome, we want to go someplace that sort of tells a little bit of their story. And so right now we're in Jeanie's Tavern in South Bend, and Jason set it up. And apparently this was your first bartending job.
Yeah, it was my
Which I didn't know. I didn't want to ask any questions until I got here to figure out. I was like, well, there's got to be a bit of a story of like, how did we get access to the basement of Jeanie's Tavern? And yeah, here we are. So yeah, I guess my first bartending job was this place. So my uncle took me here. I grew up on the West Side. All my family lives on the West Side here. This is kind of like a West Side staple. He took me here when I turned 21, and I was talking to Danny, who's one of the Danny and Gary are we just met
the owners. Yeah, super sweet people.
They were very nice.
Yeah, super awesome. Like
to allow us to do this. I mean, obviously you have a relationship with them, but to us, that just feels like extreme hospitality.
Yeah, they've never met us before.
Yeah.
And that's them. Like they're extremely amazing people. So
yeah, and even like when they were offering us like, do you guys need more lighting, or is there, I think we have what we need. But I mean, yeah, they seem to be great people and just great people to work for and know.
So yeah, that was like my segue into like the hospitality industry. So I started bartending here, and that's why I learned a bunch of stuff from like Danny. That whole
Yes, sir.
Appreciate it.
Refills.
There you go.
Sorry, I didn't mean to make that an interruption.
No, that's okay.
Founders.
Just how to take care of the customer. Like one of the things I learned about him is like he would know what everyone drank before they walked in. Little things like that I was never exposed to. So it was kind of like a good base level to learn how to treat someone and be hospitable.
That was when you were 21.
Right when I turned 21.
It seems like a really tight-knit community up there too. It seems like these people know each other, and the fresh face behind the bar, they probably were easy on you and kind of like helped show you the ropes as well.
Yeah, it was cool. It was a very comfortable transition from being someone off the street into the industry. It was
super
fun.
cool.
I sort of had a hunch. I don't know if we'd ever talked about it, but I had a hunch about what had gotten you into the hospitality industry because, well, I'll tell a story a little bit later, and I know I've told you before, well, you experienced it, but Jason's always carried this, there's just an extra depth of hospitality that I've kind of taken lessons from. Sorry, I'm not trying to make you blush or anything, but there was one act that kind of really broke through to me, and I'll never forget it. But I was sort of trying to dig and figure out where the hospitality began for you, and I had discovered a story about you coming up a little short for car insurance payment, and you skipped school.
Yeah, I did.
You skipped school and you went and played guitar at a coffee shop.
Yeah.
And I would kind of wondered if that was maybe sort of where you felt like, oh, I'm like the performance for people maybe felt special, and maybe if something burst there, I don't know.
That's wild. That's my mom tell you that? Or did I tell you that? Yeah.
No, actually, I talked to your sister.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that was a real thing.
She said there was more stories that she didn't want to share.
Yeah, there is.
So about the time that you pissed your pants and
I just thought, I don't know. I just wanted to kind of dig in, and I know your family, and you guys have. Well, I know your sister. I think I've met your mother, but
yeah.
So she shared that with me.
That's funny. That's a true.
Was that your first time performing? Because you're a musician, which I don't think we've actually covered yet. But
yeah, I do play and sing and some stuff. But no, that was like right when I started learning how to play guitar, actually. I used to play drums prior to that, and I was in my freshman year in high school, I was in a band with some of my senior friends who we're still friends now, and I played drums in that band, but then I started playing guitar, and I fell in love with that. And then I used to write poems, and I put the poems to like music.
Mm-hmm.
And then I had like some songs, and yeah, I was like short on some car insurance money, so I skipped school, and it was called RJ's, and I can't remember if it was RJ's or the name turned to Higher Grounds around that time. I think it was still RJ's, but like yeah, I played right outside there yeah, I made enough money
Outside?
Outside.
What is
yeah.
that called?
It's Cafe Navarre now, but it used
Oh,
to
really?
Yeah, but it used to be a coffee
Okay.
place.
I didn't
Coffee
know
shop.
that. I was wondering when because she told me the name of it, and I go, man, I don't know if I know where that is. Neither of us are South Bend natives.
Okay.
We've been here Steve, his mother lived here off and, well, you lived off and on because your mother lived here
About
permanently.
2004, she moved down here, and then I became a permanent resident in 2010. But more so Mishawaka, even. Like, I mean, I obviously, being the sister city, of dabbled in South Bend as well. But I mean, I know Mishawaka like the back of my hand, and it's like sometimes even I get turned around in South Bend sometimes, honestly.
Sure,
You know, so-
sure.
Busking. That's the word.
Yeah, busking.
So you were outside busking?
Yeah.
Did they know, or did you ask permission, or you just went and did it?
No, I just did it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you remember how much you made? Enough?
I don't. I mean, I think it was like 30-ish bucks or
That's
something
cool,
like
dude.
that.
That had to have been a really special feeling, you know, to
Yeah, it was cool.
Right.
I was really nervous. Like my mom somehow found out that I skipped school.
I was
don't know.
wondering
I
if you got
mean,
in trouble.
Yeah, so she was mad, and I was like, well, I got insurance money, you know, so it kind of lightened the blow from being in trouble for skipping school.
you did it for a noble cause.
Yeah.
There was this time at the Rocky Button, which is the Rocky Button is sort of it's in South Bend. It's second location now. Well, not that there's two locations. This is the second location. They moved to the second location. And an art collective? Like I don't.
Yeah, it's like a creative
really big-
collective. There's art to see visually. They have comedy there. They have shows.
Yeah. They sell like vintage clothing. Have you been to the Rocky Button?
I don't believe that I have. I
Well,
dropped
this
past
is
it
where
all
I
the
met
time.
Jason, and I think that we had a couple conversations casual because I would do a little bit of bartending there when they opened, because I would help with getting the liquor license, and then so I would do some bartending during open mic nights, and he would be there. Was friends with Jeff.
Jeff, yeah,
Yeah.
we went high school. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
Yeah, so.
And so, anyways, we had some casual conversations. I was like, oh, this seems like a cool dude. And that's kind of how we met, as the Burger Bros, which I always say as a joke. But there was one night when somebody came in with tacos from Chicago's East. Is that what it's called?
I think it was, yeah.
And I was like, man, that smells so good. And I did not even, I sort of in hindsight feel like I sounded like a kid begging for something. And I was like, but I was like, that smells so good. And then later I was just like, man, those beans, Whew, man, I love beans. And,
Just very
and I
hungry.
kept going. And Jason was like, hey, let me make you a burger.
It's like, yeah, you hungry, dude?
Yeah. And I go, what? No, dude. Smash is closed. I mean, it was 10 o'clock at night or something. I don't know what time it was, but you were closed. For certain you were closed. And he goes, no, let me go make you a burger. I go, dude, stop it. Okay, I realize now that I've been whining about food, okay? I'm not, and no, but you just kept going, that's not it. We're both in this game, this burger game, and I really want to make you a burger. Like, please let me make you a burger. You're hungry. You know, we're here we're supposed to nourish people, and like, please let me make you a burger. That was kind of how it came across to me. And I said, oh, he's being like really genuine about this. All right, sure. And he left, opened the place up, made me a burger, brought it back, no cheese, you know?
Yeah.
And I sat there, and I think I even posted it on my restaurant's page, just as I was like, oh, this is such a heavily hospitable moment in my career. Just this dude who we had a very casual relationship at the moment, and you just insisted. And I just thought that was really cool. Like, I don't know a lot of people that would do that, because I think if I heard somebody was hungry, I would just be like, oh, you should DoorDash and just move on. And he just goes, let me go make you a burger. Please let me go make you a burger. And that took a lot of work. And then I don't even think you would let me pay you for it, you know? And so anyways, thank you for that. But
Yeah, you're welcome, man.
I've shared that story with people that I work with, just because I think that there's a lesson in it, you know, and just
It shows that you lead with your heart and that
Yeah.
you're very passionate about what you do. And I think that in this life, you know, if you lead with your heart and you're doing things for that reason and not for reasons of like monetary gain and everything, I think that things just tend to fall into place.
For sure. I kind of grew up that way too. Like I come from predominantly like a Polish background. Like both sides of my family are
Okay.
Polish. So like my bushes, when they would cook food, I mean, they were just like, they kind of show how they love with their food. And I think that kind of something that instilled on me. Because even growing up, when I would bring friends over or something, you know, my busha couldn't give us enough pie or anything to eat, you know, and I was kind of like just the way like she would show like she cared.
Yeah.
I mean, when you think about it, like, what do you really need in life? Food, water, sleep. And I mean, that's a cornerstone necessity. And I think that's part of like what has driven me into the restaurant business. But also, you know, when I'm just cooking for friends or cooking for people at home, it just feels really nice to feed people, you know?
Yeah.
So,
It never feels like, I shouldn't say it never feels like work. It has been a life of grueling work. but the moment that somebody enjoys what you're doing, that it doesn't feel like any of that before was work to me.
that was what it was really cool working in Elkhart in the open kitchen, you know, being able to see the guests get the food, or sometimes they would come back and they'd be like, hey, I mean, I still work in an open kitchen at this point. And sometimes people will come back and they'll be like, hey, man, that was really awesome. And, you know, that just kind of makes you feel like you did something that was bigger than yourself.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We don't have an open kitchen where I'm at now, but there's two doorways, and just as a bottleneck, I just ripped the doors off when we open, and the hinges are still there and everything. I don't know if you've noticed that.
I haven't noticed
Well, there's a door
so-
frame. The hinge is still there. I just
If you're
was like,
sitting
get
at
this
the-
door.
If you're sitting at the bar, you can see into the kitchen
Yeah.
in certain angles, but like, it's not intentional.
But if you walk into the bathroom, you can just be like, hey, how are you?
I do that.
Yeah, well, I love it. It's
Yeah.
cool. I was like, well, it sort of feels communal, and that was the idea for my concept, was to be a neighborhood bar. I kind of joked that we're a future dive bar. Like, we're not there yet.
Yeah.
But someday these dining room tables will disappear, and there's going to be dartboards.
They'll give up on the whole food
Yeah.
aspect. Be like, yeah, we got the 2 burgers now. That's all we got.
Yeah.
We still got the sidewinders, but
So you have you already mentioned that you have a frame shop. I don't know what sort of projects you're trying to manage through, but I think just alone the frame shop and the restaurant would probably kind of be a daunting task to me. How do you prioritize all that?
Yeah.
Or I guess not how do you prioritize, but how do you decide what to prioritize?
Well, so as far as like the burger place goes, I mean, it has to stay open, even though it's hard. I mean, bottom line, it's hard to prioritize. I have some set days at the frame shop where I'm there and open. I had to trim down my schedule when I got rid of the guy I hired previously. I had to change my schedule up. So it's basically, I know I have to keep the burger place open for lunches X amount of times through the schedule, and I have to show up to the frame shop and get the projects done that have come in. So like anywhere in between, I find time to do things. I do. So it's kind of like fill in the blanks. It's not the best way, you know. It's not structured the
Yeah.
best way, but it works for me right now with
I
what
feel
I
like
have.
that sometimes. I wish that I had some sort of plan on how I'm tackling all this, but
Yeah.
it sort of just is like, oh, it's time to record a podcast today, Steve. Are you ready? Yep. Okay. And yeah, and then I don't know, just I sort of take things as they come, and
Pretty
I don't
much.
know, it's difficult.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
But I
there's
see some people that just seem like they've just got it. Like, you know, like they just have no issues, and they're on the gun, and there's no issues going on, and I just don't know.
it probably just
I don't know
seems
if
like
it's a
that on
facade.
the outside. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I think about that a little bit with you, and I guess even with you, because we haven't worked together much, but it always seems like it doesn't seem like you take your work home with you very much.
No, I've tried very hard not to. I mean, I'm very passionate about what I do, but I also spend 10, 11 hours a day, 5, sometimes 6 days a week there, you know, and I do my best when I'm at home. I mean, obviously, there's some things that you kind of need to be by the phone for, you know, as a manager, but I do my best to try to compartmentalize my personal life and my work life.
What do you think's next what's next for Smashed, or what's next for you?
So I'm kind of like at a point in my life where I'm really trying to focus on that and try to figure it out, because I've kind of been coasting. Past couple of years of my life have been kind of like hard. I've had some personal things that went on and kind of pulled me off in different directions where in other words I would be like not. So I'm just trying to regroup from that, and I'm looking for longevity with the Smash brand, and also trying to figure out a space to where I can get a better schedule at my frame shop. So that's kind of where I'm at right now, and that's what I'm working towards. And I'll figure that out when I get there.
You own a house, right?
Yeah, the house. Yeah.
That is like, I don't know if people. Well, we all have houses. We all have houses.
Yeah, mortgage payments too.
Dude, I don't know if some people who maybe apartment dwellers might not necessarily know that.
Oh, and there's stuff at home too.
Yeah, it
like
doesn't
I got projects that
you have all this going on, and then
It's more than just mowing grass.
a pipe burst in your
Oh my
basement or
God.
something.
yeah,
and
or
it's
water
like-
heater goes out. Or
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
you know,
I've had to learn so much on how to, and I've impressed myself with some of the projects that I've done.
Oh my God.
At home, and some of them have. Sometimes it's the restaurant also, where I just go, well, the AC broke, and this was a really bad week, and so we're gonna learn to fix this today. You know, we don't have a choice. We're gonna learn to fix this AC.
I basically had to replumb my entire bathroom from.
I remember you like texting me, go, well, I don't know what this is, but I'm pulling it off.
Yeah.
You know, whatever.
Not the water coming in, but the water going out. I pretty much had to figure out how to do that, and then it got to a point. I got trees in my backyard, which I love. I love trees, but trees come with tree roots, and tree roots get into your drain. And and it was obvious that within the first year of owning this house, it was pretty obvious that the people before me, they were keeping up with things, but not quite as much as they should have been, you know, and it kind of took some catching up. And, you know, when that type of stuff happens and you also have work to worry about, it feels so overwhelming.
Sure.
You know?
Yeah.
But
they're just trying to like bide time because they knew they were gonna sell it.
Yeah. I thought I saw a little kind of devious smirk on the guy's face when he shook my hand. No, he seemed like a nice guy. I don't think that he was intentionally trying to screw me, but I think that there were some things that he knew about that he didn't mention. I will say that, you know. But I mean, that's water under the bridge at this point.
Walk in and you go, and you know, this wall used to have a leak, and sometimes a foundation, but you know,
the floor's a little squishy right here, but
oh man,
notice that?
Yeah, I didn't. Well, here's the thing: is like for people that don't know, when you buy a house, you go in and you walk around for a few minutes, maybe 10 minutes, and you say, "Okay, this looks good," or you say, "This looks like shit," and then you get an inspection, and they go through and they point out things, and they say, these are the things that we feel like are immediate issues.
You're already in financially at this point, by the way. You've already put earnest money up, which is like 2% of the total purchase.
You're invested.
Non-refundable.
You've talked to a bank about a loan at this point.
Yeah. So there's been a hard pull likely, and you have to pay for that inspection.
Yep.
And that's also non-refundable.
Yep.
So you're already invested.
So yeah, you could pull out this point, but the thing is, like, they don't always find everything. So my inspection didn't find that. Okay, within the first week that I bought the house before we had moved in, I go to flush the toilet and the little chain is busted, you know?
Mm.
And so I'm sitting backwards on the toilet with the lid off of the back, and I'm examining it, and I'm like, what's going on with the floor? And come to find out,
the subfloor's rotted, or
yep, it was the subfloor, the whole bathroom was rotted. Yes. So I mean, the O-ring was completely blown out in the toilet. There's no caulk on the outside of the toilet, and water somehow had gotten all throughout. So I replaced the whole floor, you know, like I had to. But that was something that was not disclosed to me, and it was something I didn't find out until after we purchased the house.
Yeah.
You know, so at that point,
I could be wrong about this, but when I've replaced toilets, I do not caulk, because if I messed up the wax ring, I want to see the leak come out instead of 2 years later see the leak come through.
Yeah.
I didn't caulk when I put in a new toilet, and I didn't caulk, but I also did like a double layer of waterproofing on beneath the tile on top of my subflooring, you know. So I mean, there's a chance that at some point water can get in, But I mean, there's preventative measure. You know, there's more
If
than
that wax ring is good, then you should be okay if it's bolted down.
Man, when I tore this toilet apart, there's probably 4 layers of
Oh, it just gets squished out.
Well, it was people laying vinyl on top of vinyl. You know, like they weren't taking out the floor. They like obviously the subfloor had been there since the fucking 60s or 70s or something, and people are just like, I don't like this vinyl anymore. Slapped a new one on there, and then the top layer was like the sliding floor that looks like wood. You know?
Oh yeah.
They had snapped that in there, and that was like when I was sitting backwards on the toilet, like I just felt the floor moving, you know. I was like, this isn't, and then it just peels up. You're like, oh my god, dude, this is a nightmare.
I had similar, but not quite as bad. Oh, I remember. Yeah, you sent me a photo, and you had the whole thing torn up, and because I remember, I think I was showing one of my coworkers, and they're like, he needs to stuff a rag in the
Because
drain.
The
The toilet taken off. They just had like the gases coming out.
Yeah, you
and
gotta
also
stuff that.
they were like, he's inhaling
so
sewage.
Yeah.
I was
Also,
like,
you
it's
don't want
probably not
something-
the craziest thing I've inhaled in my life, but
I had something similar when
Pretty
we.
gross.
I had the upstairs bathroom in the house that I bought. Well, there's 2 major things that didn't go through inspection. I won't explain them both, but the one was, I was like, man, this toilet rocks a little bit. Oh, I gotta fix it. I really don't know what that entails. I've rented all of my life up to this point, and then finally Serena was like, "Hey, that toilet is like rocking. Like you gotta fix it." And I go, "Yeah, hey, I'll take care of it."
and then you
worry.
installed a rocking chair toilet.
Yeah.
The rocking-
No, I went up there and I was like, well, let's figure out what's going on. And I started to realize it was because the floor was soft. It was bolted down good, but the floor was soft. And so then I pulled up some of the tile and the floor was rotted. And you could see, the same, very similar, not as big as yours because I saw the photos. I saw the photos of, there's a ghost in here. It scared the shit out of us. I saw the photos of yours and it was much more extreme than what I was dealing with. But
yeah, it wasn't great.
I guess let's just take a break right there.
Okay.
Let's take a
Yeah,
break,
that's cool.
see where we're at with time.
I want to take just a few seconds to tell you about our promotional partner, SNIBBS Footwear, non-slip footwear reimagined. I can't overstate how much of a difference a great work shoe makes. SNIBBS are made by people that understand that we're out here on our feet 8, 9, 10, 11 hours a day, doing laps around the dining room, pivoting all over the kitchen. Yeah, you never know how long you're going to be at work. And, you know, these shoes have first-in-class comfort, dynamic insoles designed to protect your joints for 1,100 miles of wear. So that means even if you're running 5 miles a day in these things, they're going to last you most of the year. They have certified non-slip soles. They have cool designs and colorways. So why go to the big box store and spend like 55, 60 bucks on some ugly non-slips that are going to fall apart in a few months? You can go to snibbs.co/wefeedthem. That's SNIBBS.co/wefeedthem. Or you can follow the link in our description and you can get $20 off with our promo code. Save yourself from the aches and pains. Buy a pair of SNIBBS today.
And support the podcast. Could you share with us from the moment that the idea came about that you go, you know what, I think I'm gonna go on this journey to create this smash burger brand, to the day that you flipped over the open sign and customers came in?
Yeah. I mean, it was a unique journey because it started like where it's at now. It started at such a humble like beginning. So initially, I've always had a passion for cooking food. So having the frame shop, I know I'm going around in circles, but having the frame shop during COVID, I had to close down. So when I closed down, I was looking for another way to make income. So I started a food delivery service and I would cook meals. I had a private Facebook group. I would do 20 to 25 meals. I would post, this is what I'm cooking today. And then I would sell out every time I did that. And I did that 2 to 3 times a week.
That was during COVID?
I was during COVID.
So that's why the demand was there for that?
Yeah. And then one of the people I would sell to was a buddy of mine who was a partner of the Haunt of Hounds who was opening the food hall. So in that roundabout sort of thing, he approached me and asked me like, hey, would you be interested in doing something at the food hall? And I was kind of like, maybe like a pop-up or something. And that's what I did. So I went from not doing anything in the food industry to kind of like black market selling meals to go, like under the radar
laws
to
were kind of-
survive. Yeah, like
Everything was just whatever you got to do.
it was like the Wild West.
It
Like,
was,
you
yeah.
know, people were selling like to go alcohol. I remember it was like weird.
There were some law changes on that, but it really didn't. it seemed like you could do whatever you wanted during that time because the focus was on the cure for COVID.
Yeah, and just keep businesses going. You know?
I have a question. It seems like a lot of your background is bartending. So was Smashed your first foray, like technically into, you know, professional food service as far as like serving food, or was it something?
Oh, like my background?
As far as cooking, you know?
Oh,
like,
no, I used to work at the Vine downtown South Bend a long time ago. I was a
downtown
fruit.
South Bend.
Yeah, so back in the day, I used to be a fruit carver, so I carved fruit for their brie plates and other things.
yeah, that's cool.
How did you learn to carve fruit? They just hired you and they're like, all right.
That was a weird story. So like my friends worked there. I was looking for another job. In the meantime, I was bartending at Buffalo Wild Wings on Grape Road and also Red Lobster I was working at serving.
I served at B-Dubs on the south side for a bit.
Okay. Yeah. Fuck it. That's wild. And then so my buddy's like, you want to...
Buffalo Wild.
Yeah. Sorry. So he just asked me if I wanted a job in like the kitchen. And I was like, yeah. They said they needed someone to like dress their plates and do cold. So I was like, well, I carve fruit, which I didn't, but I didn't, but I sculpt and paint. Like I'm an artist.
Right.
So I was like, well, I can
it out.
carve a fucking strawberry or make a swan out of an apple. So that's like what I did. I would
I
do
can't
these
believe
like,
this was even a job.
Right.
yeah, I mean, I had to do other things, but initially I was hired to do that. But I had to build salads. I had to do hot side. And I mean, I had to do some other stuff.
That was your
but
first time? Like
That was the
putting on
first time,
non-slips
like,
and rolling the
yeah, that was the
kitchen
first
side?
time, like, cooking in a kitchen.
Was there a moment where you just were kind of surprised, I guess, at what was, I don't know, like I remember my first kitchen job, I just remember there was a lot of emotions, and I guess I can't even put words to them sometimes, but I just thought, I guess one of them was, oh, this is where I'm supposed to be, kind of. And a little bit surprised. Okay, you know what I'll say? When I was a child, the restaurants it was always magic. You would order this thing, and I couldn't really put all the parts together. We would order cinnamon pancakes with caramelized strawberries on top, caramelized strawberries, with whatever, you know, like this magnificent meal, and they would, within 15 minutes, come out with this meal that was better than your grandmother's, and you're with your grandmother, and she would agree that this is like the best loaded pancake in town. And there was so much magic to me. And my first kitchen job, they pulled back the curtains, and the magic started to disappear. And I felt like I belonged here, and I felt like I belonged, like I really wanted to extend that magic, I guess, that I felt as a child to other people who didn't see behind the curtains. But there was this really weird feeling of, this isn't magic at all.
It's like the end of the Wizard of Oz, where it's just
behind the curtain.
Yeah, the little dude behind the curtain. Yeah.
This is like this is distraught workers.
Oh my God.
Negative emotions, really hard work. Not a lot of moments of, like, in that kitchen, there was not a lot of moments of positive excitement. And so I don't know, do you recall like some of your first feelings in a kitchen?
Yeah, so actually I enjoyed it. I didn't have any issues just because what I was doing was I just did salad builds and carved fruit, and kind of explained, because they wanted to dress up these plates. And I was like, well, that takes time. So they were kind of lenient with me with like what I was doing. And like, honestly, I had 2 other jobs, so I didn't care a lot of, it was like more for my experience in that place. I didn't count on it. So I didn't take anything that went on in that kitchen didn't really bother me.
I think that it is the team, though, because I know my second job, I was like, this is a different game. Everybody here there's camaraderie, there's teamwork, and it was different. So
and they were friends of mine. So
that's right,
2 of the people, like a buddy named Jensen and then my buddy named Zach, like they both worked there. So it was great. It was, as far as the experience goes, it was great. But it did get crazy sometimes with just like tickets being called back and things that I wasn't used to. You know, I've always seen it from like serving and seeing like a kitchen like at, say, Red Lobster or whatever, but it wasn't like that though, where things are being fired. And I mean, it got intense. Remember the dishwasher he was in the same room, like the kitchen was really small. I remember there was like there's always like beef going. I mean, yeah, it was weird. It was
I was
weird.
thinking
Yeah.
like they were passing like steaks.
No, just like yelling at each other and stuff. And I'm,
Yeah.
you know, I'm
It's
just kind
so
of in my own
interesting
world. But
Yeah, I mean, in the many kitchens that I've worked in, the culture is so key, and it varies so differently. Whereas, like, there are certain kitchens that I've worked in that the culture is just very respectful, and everybody is there to do a great job, and we're all helping each other. And I mean, obviously, that's what you strive for, especially as a manager, operator, things like that. You're trying to get to a point where everybody feels like brothers and sisters. And then there are kitchens that I've worked in where people are just screaming at each other across the kitchen about, you know, where are those fries, bitch? You know, like, shut up, motherfucker. You know.
Yeah.
I feel like there's a breaking point though where that does happen, but depending on how tight your kitchen is, then it just settles down and goes back to like, hey, good shift, man, like that.
Yeah.
We made
Yeah.
it through it. So like, you know, sometimes it has its ebb and flow of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
intensity where you're
Every kitchen has a different culture for sure. There's just different. I don't know. I think of some that are like that, and some where that was purely hostility, and then there was some where you was nothing but supportive. You'd get busy, and the guy that was kind of leader on the line would be like, "You got this, buddy. Keep on going."
Yeah.
You're like, but I'm falling behind. No, that's all right. We got this. And so I don't know. Every kitchen really does have a
It's-
different personality.
It's like families, you know, where like
Yeah,
there are families that sit down, everybody sits down at 6 o'clock and eats a meal that mom made, and we all talk about our day, you know. And then there are families where dad is half drunk at 6 o'clock, throwing things across the kitchen. And,
Yeah. Family.
yeah.
So lockdown comes from COVID.
Oh, yeah.
You're feeling like this is a financial necessity.
Yeah.
So this was the first. You're just like, okay, what am I gonna do? You thought about selling crack. You told me that off camera.
that wasn't a viable option. I didn't know where to find it, you know. So so I did the food thing. It worked out great because of that. One of the partners in the Haunted Hounds that was taking over the food hall at the time approached me about doing something in there, so I decided to do like a pop-up, and that was like my segue into what Smashed is now.
Did
was
you
like
pop
the
up?
first
Did
pop-up.
you pop up as Smashed?
Yes, I did. Yeah, I did something prior to that, and it was called Rogue Eats because that's initially what I called the name of the food I was selling during COVID because I went rogue from the frame shop.
yeah.
So I was selling this food, and then the Rocky Button, which is that artist collective. When their original location, they had like a party or something, and I sold burgers there under Rogue
Okay.
Eats. That was like the first segue into like
I went
marketing
to
my food.
their inaugural, their first open night at the first location that was in
Mishawaka.
River Park.
Yeah.
Yeah. We might have bumped into each other then and not realized because I don't think we really knew each other.
Could
yet.
have been. This was like
There was no cheeseburgers.
this
I
was like
wouldn't
their
remember.
anniversary. It was like outside, so they had like 7 bands. I think it was like an anniversary party or something. But yeah, that was like the first time I did something. But then when I did the pop up, it was Smashed burgers and fries.
And the feedback. Did you tweak anything, or did you kind of go to market like actually what we put on the
Nailed it.
table was perfect?
So basically, like the burgers were basic. I didn't have like any signature burgers on. It was like everything deluxe, everything.
Go bacon cheeseburger.
I can't remember. Yeah, it was all simple burgers.
How'd you get to the next level?
Like after that pop up, or
Yeah, how did you come up with the signature burgers and start working on
so
some
basic.
of the
So
sauces?
so like the garage burger, for instance, it's called the garage burger because it's actually the first one I did in my garage. I can't remember if that was on the pop up. That could have been on the pop up. I don't know, but it was basically like flavors of the Big Mac, and I tried to deconstruct and reconstruct a better version of that. And I probably made the garage sauce 12 different times in the garage, you know, just trying to recreate it. I mean, at that time of like trying to recreate those burgers, probably had burgers like 4 times a week for
Did you have guinea pigs that you were testing it
yeah,
out?
like my neighbors, friends. Yeah, I mean, hey, come over for burgers. Okay, I mean, it wasn't shy of anyone wanting to come over to eat some burgers.
I'm
So-
picturing you with like a home built, what do you call those? Like a workbench, like 4x4s and like the cheapest plywood, and you're just out there like whisking sauces.
yeah.
I was picturing more like a mad scientist vibe, you know? It's like pouring different things into beakers in his garage and shit.
I mean, it kind of in a way, it was like I had a bar in my garage at the time, so like that was just set up with all the ingredients, and then my flat top was just right outside the garage, yeah, I was just running back and forth, and
You know, I think a lot of people, you've seen these like Blackstone grill. Was it a Blackstone?
this is a Blackstone. Yeah.
You see these Blackstone grills blow up in sales and popularity. And I have a close friend that loves his Blackstone, and he's always talking about it. And he goes, "You got to get one." And I go, I've spent my whole career dealing with flat tops, and I'm not trying to like dog it, but I don't really want one at home. You know, I'm not impressed by. But anyways, my point is that I think that a lot of people, when they get one, they might be sort of daydreaming about like, man, maybe I could, if I can do this on this, maybe I can actually sell it to people. And you know, like you just actually made that dream real. And so, well, I don't know if that's what you were feeling. But
Yeah, so I used to make the burgers on a cast iron skillet in my stove in the house. And I was like, I need something with a little more capacity.
Yeah.
Right.
That was affordable. Like, I wasn't going to go buy like a commercial
At this point, were
grade.
you already decided that this might become something that you were going to make money
So this
from?
was kind of the segue between when I did because when I did the food delivery service, I wasn't doing burgers. It was everything else, but because I smoke meats and I do other things like that too. So, so it was that stuff. And then I was like, I want to make burgers, smash burgers, because I really like the science behind it and the flavor and just the dynamic of a smash burger. So I was making them on this giant cast iron pan, actually so much so where the ceiling above the stove was discolored. And like they had to put like a double coat of paint because I got the house painted. They're like, it's really oily up there. Because it would just, I didn't notice it until like they painted. I'm like, oh shit. Like,
That's wild.
yeah, so many burgers in that, so much so much cholesterol, so much heart disease. But so then I transitioned to getting a Blackstone, a flat top, so I could have a bigger grilling surface. I remember I went from a 3-burner, I bought a 3-burner, and I was like, this ain't big enough. So then I sold that and bought a 4.
I never, but I feel like that for anytime I see somebody using one, you even see people maybe becoming like social media influencers as the Blackstone as their focus.
Yeah.
I just sense that they look at what we do for a living and sort of like look up to it, or they dream about it a little bit. And I think it's really cool to see that type of excitement in people cooking at home. And I think it might even help because they're gonna keep coming into our restaurants and be like, okay, how did I still not nail what they're doing? And then go back home and, you might think for a second that it's gonna cut down your sales, but I don't think so. It almost might. So now it's become a passion. They want to come see what we're doing and try even harder. I don't do smash burgers in my place. I joke that we're the anti-smash burger joint.
Sure.
And but smash burger, that trend has been, obviously people are really into it, and a good smash burger is a good smash burger. I do see people do smash burgers that even as a non-smash burger aficionado, as an anti-smash guy, I'm like, what is that?
Yeah.
That's a squish burger.
Yeah.
Could you?
There's definitely an art to it.
There's a difference. Yeah.
Could you tell somebody who wants to make a smash burger? Is there any tips that will not give away your secrets? Is there any tips that you think you could give out?
The 4-corner steak and shake press.
I made a smash
Yeah.
burger at my restaurant, and I sent it to you, and I was like, they got me making smash burgers in here. And before you responded, I was like, oh, I did too much smash in the middle and not the edges. And you came back with something like, yeah, I was gonna say something.
Yeah. I mean, basically, just make sure that things is here. Make sure your griddle's hot enough, clean enough. I try to keep my flat top clean so you get some good, so it adheres properly. The meat adheres properly, and then I try to get once you smash it, get the edges of the meat to stick to the griddle, to the flat top.
So you go with a ball?
I put a ball
Really
straight
hot?
down, and then I get the smasher, push it down.
There's no deli paper between that?
So I used to starting off. That's what I did, but then I
That's rookie
got
shit.
the technique. I don't want to say that. I mean, there's certain burgers I'll still use that for, like my Oklahoma onion burger. I'll use that.
So what is the smasher? Is it just flat or?
Yeah, it's just a flat, round.
Anytime I've ever made
metal.
smash patties, I just do 2 spatulas and just press one on the
Sure.
other.
Yeah. This is just. I feel it's easier. Like it's faster. 'cause
Oh
you
yeah.
can just.
For sure.
Um.
It's just like, well, I mean, I have worked at a place that was focused on smash burgers, but I bartended there. I didn't cook there.
Okay.
But I have a flat top at my work. We don't have a smash burger on the menu, but sometimes I'll make them for myself.
Okay, yeah.
So
Just make sure you get that. I always mess up. Maillard reaction. Is that what?
Mallard.
Mallard.
Yeah,
I always
Mallard
say that
reaction. Yeah, yeah.
wrong. Like I always say it
sear,
wrong.
yeah.
Yeah. But and then I was I think people scrape them off. I mean, you should be scraping that off, I feel.
Oh, yeah.
And people like take them off like way too soon.
You need like a deep brown color, right?
Yeah, I mean, you start seeing the fat bubble through the backside.
Where do you add the seasoning?
So that's on the backside. So once I put it down and smash it, I'll add the seasoning to the top side.
How did you feel about that scene in the menu? Did you watch that movie?
The menu. Oh, is
Yeah.
that where
Did you see that one?
he's like, what I want is a
All I
burger.
wanted. Yeah, she's like all.
That movie in
did you watch
itself
that?
was wild.
I thought it was great.
That
Yeah.
movie is really one of my I shouldn't
Yeah.
say my favorite because I was like, what are you talking about? But I remember watching that and going, oh wow, that was
And
amazing.
they're making all this crazy stuff, and she's just like, I just want a burger. And then they walk through like the step-by-step process of how he's making the smash burger and everything, and he makes it all gorgeous. If you haven't seen the movie, spoiler alert,
Dude, watch that movie.
yeah, oh yeah,
That was wild.
Buy that movie.
yeah.
Yeah, I want to watch that again. Just coming up with it. Do you remember that scene then? Do you?
I remember when he was making I can't recall it being a smash.
Maybe it wasn't.
It was like thicker. I think he was searing it, but it was.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Yeah.
But it's still
Yeah.
delicious.
I remember, but I don't remember that scene very well. But I remember some moments perking up and going like, oh, like that's something I kind of know a little bit, you know. And that was probably one of them.
That was a great movie, a great
bit of a
send up of
burger
the
guy.
industry, and yeah, I thought. I mean, I'm really into like black comedies, you know, so that was right up my alley.
Is that what they're called? Black comedies?
Dark comedies, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. No, I'm talking about Tyler Perry.
Yeah. I was like, I wouldn't classify it as that. So we're gonna try. We've got a few segment style games things that we've discussed and we haven't really launched yet. Well, one of them is the chopping block, and we have done. You've seen it with what was one? I think we did sandwiches. We did cocktails a couple weeks ago, where we just make a bracket and we chop out what we don't like.
Right.
So, inspired by Steve's walking out of Steak and Shake story, and me making fun of him for wearing his dorky bow tie.
Yeah.
We came up with one called the Bow Tie Awards. So we're gonna try to play the Bow Tie
Okay.
Awards. So here's the explanation. In the Bow Tie Awards, we will one by one add things to a job requirement until somebody finally walks out. The goal is to be the most willing to sport the company bow tie. To
Okay.
be the most willing to do that job. Each person gets a chance to delegate one task only. That's like your lifeline. So if you go, I'm not doing that, I'll delegate that. You get one chance to do that. Unless, do you have any questions? I know that's kind of a brief.
Okay. Yeah. So
what-
basically, you're gonna like keep throwing things at this job position, and so
Yeah.
you're like,
So I'll come up with a scenario that'll be a baseline, and then Steve will add, oh, then our boss asked us to do this, and we'll go like, all right, we'll still stay with the job, and then I'll add something, and then you'll add something.
Like you're hired at a place, but the guy makes you sport a 70s porn stash.
Okay,
or
I
something,
see.
and then,
Okay.
You know, you're like, okay, yeah, I can do that. And then it's like, well, but he also makes you walk on hot coals or whatever the fuck. it
Okay, I
is, you know?
see.
So let's keep
Okay,
going
okay,
and try to
okay.
be, I guess, just try to think like it should get a little bit ridiculous, but try to really think honestly, would I keep doing this? You know?
Okay.
And so if you walk out, you just walk out. You're not really losing anything. And the person who doesn't walk out, the last person standing is the one who wins the bow tie award, which you don't really have a bow tie award yet, but it's just the idea behind it, you know?
Yeah, we're gonna craft this at some point out of gold.
Yeah,
Some
okay.
Statue.
That'd be cool. So, so here's the scenario. The three of us are hired as banquet cooks at SeaWorld Orlando. And it's a pretty average job, it seems to. We get hired at the exact same time. And the first sign that our manager might be a little bit goofy is that he tells us that we are not allowed to wear non-slips. Would you stay at the job?
Already?
Yeah.
Man, I bet there's a lot of wet floors around Universal.
The splash zones all over.
Yeah,
the place.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
SeaWorld.
Jeez. Well, I
You're
was
really thinking about quitting the job?
Oh yeah, I mean that's a consideration, but you know what? I'm gonna go with it.
Yeah,
You
well,
know,
I'm staying. I'm
yeah.
staying with the job. What
Yeah,
do
I'll
you
stay.
feel?
I'll stay.
I'm gonna
like,
say I'll figure it out.
I've worked
Yeah.
many places where I
Yeah, I wore Fila's for
Yeah.
like years. I didn't even wear non-slips.
I
in a
just
lot of
shuffle my
kitchens.
feet.
I can't
I
do
got
it,
a
man. I like
science
to
to it.
slide.
Yeah.
I
like to
can't.
slide
I
around.
can't do it.
You
Yeah.
have your lifeline. You can delegate this to somebody else, and you can wear non-slips if you want.
Somebody else has to wear
Yeah, I guess it doesn't really apply there. That
Okay,
way, but-
I'll say that I'm in on it.
okay,
let's
you're
do
in.
it. Yeah.
All right, go ahead. You add the next scenario.
Okay, he also makes you clean dolphin shit.
How often? Wait, what?
I don't know, whatever
What
the
does that
dolphin-
entail? Like, where does
Tail.
I don't know. I've never worked at SeaWorld Orlando, but I assume that somebody has to clean the shit.
Okay.
so you're serving food and then cleaning poop?
At the end of the night, after
Okay.
after you're done serving all of the food, you got to go into the tank, and I don't know.
Am I
For
wearing
anybody that has worked at SeaWorld Orlando and had to clean dolphin shit, enlighten us as to the process.
Am I wearing a scuba outfit and I gotta go down there and like I guess I'm picturing that I'm going down with like a net and I'm pulling up
Hey.
dolphin shit. So that's what we're gonna do.
There we
We're
go.
gonna do
Imagine
it
it
every night.
floats, no?
Okay, let's
It's
say
gotta be
let's
monthly.
make another baseline for this. In this job, we're all paid $80,000 a year.
Oh well.
There's a lot that I will put up with for
I'll clean
$80,000 a
some
year.
shit.
Well, I'm gonna stay. I don't know, dude. Every night, I'm delegating that. I'm not getting in cleaning dolphin shit every night, even for 80 grand. So that's gonna be. I'm delegating that away. You're staying. Obviously, that was your idea.
Yeah,
You're staying.
Oh, yeah, I'll stay.
All right. All right. You go ahead and add one.
Okay, so
Clean dolphin shit. You got your flippers on and stuff. You're like, well, I did pretty good on grilled tonight, but now I gotta go clean dolphin shit.
Well, dolphins are mammals, so I assume that their systems work a lot like ours. So I don't really know how they shit or like how.
Well, you're not gonna clean human shit out of the pool either.
He also makes you clean human shit.
so you'd also have to not only just clean dolphin shit, but you'd have to like give them a sponge bath.
The dolphins?
The dolphins.
That might be fun. I'm staying.
Yeah, that sounds.
But so I've got somebody delegating the dolphin shit, and I'm fucking swimming with dolphins and giving them a sponge bath. I'm staying. Are you staying, Steve?
There's a possibility that you get molested by a dolphin. I've heard that's happened to people.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, you never heard that?
No, have you heard this?
I don't know if it's like lower, right? If it's like
Dude, this sounds like
dolphins humping
this is
people?
extreme.
but there was like some kind of weird thing that happened a while ago, I think with like psychedelics and dolphins, where like a woman had some kind of relationship with a dolphin. I could be
What?
wrong.
Maybe it's consensual.
You might have to Google
Who
it.
had the what?
It's like
did the dolphins take the psychedelics? Was it the woman or was it both?
I don't know, and I could be like way off base, so I don't know. But I think I remember something to look up.
Yeah.
Huh?
Well, I'm staying. I'll give a dolphin a damn.
I mean, if I'm already cleaning his shit, I might as well clean his shithole, I guess.
Yeah.
So.
Okay, so I added one, you added one. I don't know how. I guess we're going this way, so you get to add another one.
Oh man, I'm next up.
Well, let's try to do something in the kitchen, though.
Yeah, for sure. Something,
Yeah, we kind of segued out there.
something that doesn't pertain to dolphins.
Now we're sponge bathing and maybe having some romances with the dolphins.
And then he makes you kill the dolphins and all. You gotta chop them up and serve them to the people. Something in the kitchen. Well, you don't have any utensils other than your hands.
What?
Yeah, so you're turning everything on a grill. I don't know why he's done this. I really don't. But he,
Can I have gloves?
uh,
I mean, I'm gonna assume I got some gloves.
you gotta have some kind of protection.
Well, I guess if I'm the grill guy,
You get some
I think I can
high-heat
still handle
gloves.
this. I'm not gonna walk out now, but I'm thinking about it, dude. I'm definitely like, this job might be some bullshit. I'm definitely thinking about it, but I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with it. Are you staying?
Yeah. I still stay for that.
There better be some hand soap in that thing, though. All right. The next thing will be, okay, so what are we doing so far? We cannot wear non-slips. We have to clean dolphin poop nightly. We have to give the dolphins a sponge bath, and we can't use any tongs or spatulas, no utensils at all. No spatulas, no ladle. Dude, we're gonna order a soup.
Gloves hands.
Just like
I would say the other thing is that you have to. I'm just gonna go with a simple one because this is so extreme for me so far. You have to filter 6 deep fryers nightly.
That's where I draw the
60?
fucking line.
6, not 60.
oh, I was like 60.
6 deep fryers. You have to filter.
It takes
6.
4 hours.
You're doing all this stuff in like one night, like
You're getting paid, dude.
yeah.
I mean, it sounds like your
just-
shift really
just
is
fill-
going in, turning like 3 steaks, and then you got to get straight to the dog shit. You got to get straight to the dolphin shit, straight to the dolphin baths, and then you got to drop the fryers.
What are we talking about for the filtering? What kind of fryers are these? Is it like one of the roll-up box filter machines? Is it one of the ones that are built on? It makes a difference because there's
The roll-up
some of
box
them are
filter
easier.
machines. But you got a dishwasher that can clean it when you're done. You just got to set it up. So we'll say, yeah, you got to filter 6 fryers per night.
You know what?
And I'm still staying.
I think I'm going to delegate this task just
Oh, you
because it
still have to
seems
delegate.
like it
Yeah.
seems like we're getting to a point where I'm not diving in that tank, cleaning out the dolphin shit, and then getting out and filtering fryers. Like I need to draw the line somewhere.
Okay.
God damn it! And
Jason, what are you thinking?
I'm still there.
You're not delegating anything yet?
No, not yet.
Okay.
Because I think
This is a good
things
paying
might
job.
get worse.
Man.
Yeah, it's a good paying job. And things I'm gonna
Jason's
keep that.
employee of the month over here right now.
All right, you add one now.
So once a week, you have to clean out the grease trap
Oh,
without,
stinky one?
yeah, with no.
no gloves, no protection.
PPEs.
He makes you strip Newton off.
Then
Can you got a scoop by hand, or can I use a container? Can I use a vessel?
you can use like a scoop, but you can't use any.
I'm staying. Yeah,
I'm calling it.
I hate that.
No,
You're
I'm
walking out.
walking out.
That shit stinks.
You're walking out.
I'm not doing grease traps. If that would have been the first one, I'd have walked out.
Really?
Or delegated it, I guess.
Terrible. Yeah.
I mean, I shouldn't have delegated the fryers, damn it.
All right.
See,
it's you and
I'm
me.
delegating that though.
Oh, okay.
Even though I came up with it,
Go
I'm
with it.
still-
So you delegate the
Yeah.
task. All right. So we both use our delegation. Is that the right word? If you delegate your delegation? Sounds
yeah,
kinda
it could be.
legal.
Yeah.
All right. So now we got to tear it up. Let's see. On Wednesdays, you are not allowed to wear shoes at all. I don't know why. This guy's got an obsession with you. He's got like a foot fetish in the kitchen. I don't know.
Yeah. I don't want to do that.
You know what? I don't even. That's my idea, and I think I might walk out.
Yeah, I don't. I'm not
Okay,
gonna do
but
that.
I'm gonna say. I think I would negotiate. I would say, okay, dude, if you don't want me to wear shoes on Wednesday, this has to be the day that I do all the dolphin sponge baths.
See, that's smart.
And if he comes back and says that's fine, and I don't know if this is a new rule to the game. I don't know what. I think I'm gonna stick around. I don't know. I came up with that one, so I have to
Man.
stay.
yeah,
Yeah, 80,000 ain't enough for that.
I already made a decision though,
grand.
so I think
Can I wear like multiple socks? Well, I guess honestly, I think that was a bad one because I'd probably walk out myself. But since I came up with it, I'm the crazy manager this whole time, and I'm staying. So I'm wearing the bow tie.
Wednesday is also the day that you clean the grease trap out, and you got to crawl in there barefoot.
You fucking quit, dude. Get out of this. You walked out last week. You've been hustling, man. You've been trying to make money, and we even asked for a raise when you walked out on us, man. All right, well, I get the bow tie award, I guess.
All right.
Sweet. There I am. I'm the company's bitch.
All right.
I don't know. I think that could be kind of fun.
Should
what
we
a, what a
wrap?
unique dynamic of a restaurant to have dolphins. Like,
Yeah.
Well, there's food service there. There's definitely food
Plenty of
service.
stuff, yeah. This has been awesome. Thanks for the hospitality. This location's great. Meeting the owners has been awesome.
Jeannie's Tavern.
Yeah.
Oh,
Dude, just talking about this, I mean, I feel like I told you off camera, but I'm so hungry for a smash burger right now. I need to, I'm almost going to go home and make one, but.
Is Culver's open? No. Bad smash.
Right.
Bad.
yeah. But yeah, thank you for watching the podcast or listening. Please follow us, like the video if you like it, and comment if you got something to say. And that about does it here in
Yeah.
South Bend for We Feed Them.
What are your social media? Could you just shout out your socials in case somebody
yeah,
wants to
just
check out the concept?
smashed_SB Facebook. Same with Instagram.
Smashed_SB.
Yeah.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah, thank you. Thank you for your time.
Yeah, thanks for having me. It's
Yeah,
been
of
fun.
course. Yeah, it has
it's
been
cool.
fun. I wish we had more time. I think that we could probably drive this episode into the night, really. And keep feeding them. We're working on that. I don't know if that works, but we're working on it.
Go feed yourself.
Yeah, hey, grab a bowl of ramen and have a great night. Eat. I guess that's it. That's it. I think that's a wrap.